All right, let's talk about something for all you ambitious DIYers out there. I'm talking about one of the biggest, most important projects you can take on in your home, installing a Class A chimney system. Yeah, it's a big one. You know that feeling, right? That incredible pride when you step back and look at a huge project you finish with your own two hands? It's awesome. You've got the vision, you're fired up, and you're thinking, what's next? What's the next big challenge? Okay, but this is where we need to pump the brakes for a second. Because let's be real, installing a chimney isn't like, tiling the bathroom or building a deck. This is a whole different animal. The stakes are so much higher, and honestly, the room for error is basically non-existent.
And this right here, this is where that DIY dream can turn into a total nightmare fast. I mean, you're not just clicking parts together. You're trying to figure out a maze of local building codes that are, well, let's just say they're not exactly light reading. You're dealing with fire safety, where even a tiny mistake could be catastrophic. And then you've got to find the exact right parts and make sure every single piece works together perfectly. It's a lot to put on your shoulders.
But it makes you wonder, right? Does being a do-it-yourselfer have to mean doing it all completely alone? What if the real challenge here isn't just about having the right wrench, but having the right person to call for advice? Let's dig into that idea.
So, this brings us to a really cool model that some companies are starting to use. They totally get the challenge you're facing. So, instead of just shipping you a box of parts and saying good luck, they're actually including free technical support. It's kind of like they're putting an expert right there in the box with all the pipes. So, what exactly is a chimney specialist in this case? Well, think of them as your personal project manager and safety expert, all rolled into one. This is the person who's going to help you make sense of all those confusing codes, double-check that all your parts are compatible, and basically walk you through the whole thing, from the very first sketch to the final piece.
And the way this support works is actually pretty straightforward. It's broken down into two simple phases to make sure nothing gets overlooked.
First up, you've got guided selection. This is all about the planning stage. It's about getting everything right before you even spend a dime to head off problems at the pass. And then you move into installation support. And this is your lifeline. This is who you call when you're actually doing the work and need an expert like right now.
So let's really zoom in on that first part, guided selection. Think about it. Instead of you spending hours, maybe even days, hunched over catalogs and charts trying to figure out what works with what, you just talk to an expert. They'll help you pick out the perfect Class A system for your house, your stove, and your local codes. It just stops those expensive and frankly dangerous mistakes before they can even happen.
All right, and then we get to the actual installation. Picture this. You're up on the roof, you run into an issue, and you're just not sure what to do next. Instead of guessing and hoping for the best, you just make a call. You get an expert on the line who gives you clear answers. Now that is the kind of peace of mind that turns a super stressful project into a successful one. When you put it side by side, the difference is just huge. Going it alone means guesswork, and guesswork leads to uncertainty, which leads to risk. But with this kind of support, guesswork gets replaced with expert guidance. Uncertainty turns into confidence. And the biggest one, risk gets replaced with real, proven safety. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, it's pretty clear this isn't just about buying a bunch of metal pipes. It's a totally different way to think about tackling a big, complex DIY project. It's all about being able to build with a kind of confidence that's honestly almost impossible to find when you're working all by yourself. And really, that's the bottom line right there. You're not just buying parts anymore, you're gaining a partner who's actually invested in making sure you succeed and, more importantly, that you do it safely. It changes the whole game. So it really leaves you with one big question to ask yourself before you start your next major project. When it's a job where safety and getting it right are everything, why would you just buy the parts when you could buy a partner? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.